good, everybody? Articulated Ninja here. You know, you guys can find me here on YouTube, and you can also find me on Instagram. Let's get right into it. We have another addition in the Furay Planet line. You guys remember the werewolf that I got before? He was beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see how well this new addition in the line stacks up compared to veteran William. This, however, is not a werewolf. This is a tiger. This is Weng, the Blade Master. All right, so y'all know what time it is. Let's check out the ass on this action figure.
Hey, yo!
Pause. I'm talking about detail, articulation, accessories, and size. Where's your mind at?
Truth is not what you want it to be. It is what it is. And you must bend to its power or live a lie.
Guys, I do have my negatives with this figure. I'm gonna save that for the end of the video on the judgment section. But in terms of details, because that's the segment we're talking about right here, whether we're talking about the individual figure or the accessories that come with the figure and the paint apps, and these details are through the roof. I like Mythic Legions. I'm a Mythic Legions fan. I love Classified. I love so many lines, but I'm telling you guys, in terms of detail and sculpting, and in a lot of ways articulation as well, this thing blows a lot of that other stuff out of the water, out of the park, without a doubt. And sure, it should, because of the price point, but at the same time, we've gotten figures, more expensive figures, that have 10 times less detail, sculpting, and accessories than this guy. Just look at how sharp every single tiger stripe is. It's really good. It has a great dry brushing, great finish. Everything about this I like. In terms of details, this shit is amazing. I'm good. Yo, especially for him being such a big figure, I said the same thing with veteran William. His articulation is really, really good. You guys know I handle my articulation segment in my videos much different than a lot of other reviewers. I don't sit here and move every single joint piece by piece and say, hey, this moves, this moves, this moves. I just show you guys me moving it around on camera so you guys can just see what has articulation and what doesn't. And for the most part, everything functions as it should. The butterfly, shoulders, the head, everything pops on and off pretty easily except for the hands. The hands are super tight. Definitely heat the hands up. Heat this guy up before you move him. He comes with a little note that says heat him up, but other than that, articulation wise, swapping, everything is good. Double hinged elbows, double hinged knees, etc. He does have like a dry brush on him, so I'm just gonna point it out right here. I can't tell whether this is just mine. Maybe this one has this black paint splotch, or it's supposed to be there as part of the dry brushing, because it is all around the figure, just more or less in certain parts than others. I'm not a fan of that type of dry brushing, but it does make him look dirty in certain parts, and I guess he's supposed to be, because it is in his hands a lot. And like I said, he does look like a traveling samurai, so he's not bright white on any part of him. Every white part of him does have this dirty overall texture and dry brushing to it. It's good in some places, but in other places I feel like it's a little bit too much. I can't tell if it's supposed to be there or not, but that's all shit that has to do with my own preferences. In terms of articulation, everything is really good. The waist movement, everything, arms, everything in his upper body is great. It's just his lower body that's limited. So these pants or whatever, because they're so big, it does limit his leg articulation. And in my mind, for him to be a martial artist, I wish that he just would have had better leg articulation. It's still good, as you guys can see. He can still get up into those dynamic kicking poses, sure, but I do feel like this just limits it a lot. But then at the same time, it's such a soft plastic that I don't want it to be gone necessarily, but I wish that they would have included just bare legs with him the way that they did Veteran William. It's probably my biggest gripe on the figure, but the pants and the sculpting on this thing is so nice. And like I said, it is soft plastic, so it does limit a lot, but at the same time, it does really contribute to the overall like samurai, like Last Ronin type of vibe that this tiger does have. So even though I like that it's here and the sculpting on it is great and paint apps are great, it does limit his leg articulation a lot. Other than the limited leg articulation because of the pants and the sculpting, I feel like everything else on this guy articulation wise is great. And his tail does have a really sturdy bendy wire in it. Like any way I wanted to bend the tail, I definitely could. And it also holds its position really well. So articulation wise, I'm good with this guy, other than the damn robe that limits his pants and his leg movement a lot. Every Maestro Union figure that I have ever gotten in hand always wins in accessories, and this guy is no exception. We're talking about close to 30 or maybe even more if you break down every single little thing that you can take apart or take off of this guy. It's wild. Now these boots, I put them on the figure, but I really didn't show them on the figure like that because I want him to look as much like a tiger as possible. So I wanted to show his tiger physique, like his feet, his hands, his chest, as much as possible. That's just a preference thing with me, but the boots are really nice. I think out of all the accessories, guys, this bamboo type of looking hat has to be my favorite. This hat is awesome, man, and it fits on his head so perfectly. And then my second favorite would have to be this case for these damn swords. The quality and sculpting and paint apps and just everything on this sword set is ridiculous. Look at the details on the case, right? Look at the outside, the inside. The wood actually looks ingrained. Everything here looks amazing. That texture design is actually raised off, so that's a separate mold in itself right there. But when you open it, it has the swords in like this nice red felt material. This is wild. I've probably never seen this with any figure company or any line in general, but it looks like a legit weapons case. Like, this is really nice, and the detail is amazing. The sculpting, the paint apps, everything on these swords look beautiful. I do have some smudges on mine, and that is a pain in the ass. That's annoying, but overall I can't even focus on small things like that because the overall presentation of this is just, it's phenomenal, man. And look at the little details. There is a tiger emblem on his sword by the handle. It's just, man, the accessories here are winning, whether you look at them individually or you stack them all on top of the figure. And the case to the sword does plug in to his robe garment. There's not a peg hole on his actual back because that wouldn't make any sense, right? Unless you're gonna tie it in and use the rope. That's what they give you rope for, so you can tie the rope to the weapons case and then tie it around him. You just use that peg hole to peg it in, and it fits on really nice, spins around and all that. It doesn't fall off easily or nothing. I feel like that was a great choice to go with, especially them giving us extra damn rope so we could tie it around him if we want to as well. That is awesome. Accessory wise, the only thing this guy is honestly missing to me though is a really screaming face. Like, I mean, the jaw open, you can see his tongue, see his teeth. He comes with a regular looking face and like a scowling face, but I don't know why we didn't get a screaming face. Like, we got a screaming face with Veteran William. I wish we would have gotten like a screaming, roaring type of tiger face with this guy. And I absolutely love that we're getting comics with every figure that we buy, and each comic kind of tells a story to that figure. This comic is much thinner than Veteran William's, but it gets straight to the point. I love the art. Mine is in Japanese. I'm sure there'll be an American version too, but I kind of didn't even need to read the words because the artwork and the storytelling is so good. It's kind of like a slideshow, and I love it. This comic is amazing, and it also shows previews at the end to other figures that Maestro Union has coming down the pipeline. Size wise, I think he's really good. He's a beast, man, and he definitely is height wise compared to other 112 scale figures. First up, we're going to show him next to his counterpart, another Maestro Union figure, that veteran William Werewolf that I love so much. Go watch my review of him if you guys have not. He's beautiful, and I thought that there would be a lot of reuse here, guys, but there's actually not. The feet are not the same, the hands, the forearms, the biceps, everything is different on this guy, and that is amazing to see. We complain about reuse all the time, but him and veteran William are two totally different builds from head to toe. At least that's how it looks to me, and I love it. And we also have him next to this amazing Marvel Legends Sauron Build-A-Figure, one of the best Build-A-Figures in my opinion that they ever made, and I like his size here a lot. And shout out to my man Crush Laser Pants for making sure that I had this Sauron in my collection. And next up, we got him next to some big SH Figure Arts figures. Then we got him next to the Jaded Toy Street Fighter figures. We got him here next to the Valorverse Action Force figures. Here we also have him next to the NECA 90s movie Turtles, and I love his size here. He fits in with this universe so well, like another student or a friend or a pupil or whatever to Splinter and the Turtles. He just fits in well. Then we got him next to a McFarlane figure and an old school Mattel Build-A-Figure. Then we have him next to some G.I. Joe Classified. Then we got him next to some recent Marvel Legends. Then we have him next to the Marvel Legends Ursa Build-A-Figure and the NECA King Kong. Then we have him next to the only person that can defeat him. Then we got him next to some Mythic Legions, some Power Rangers Lightning Collection, some more McFarlane, and some NECA action figures. I really do like his size here with these NECA action figures. Once again, he could be in their lore, in their show as well. And then of course, last but not least, some curvy ass, nice looking female action figures with them big old titties. Guys, this figure is $100 online basically from Big Bad. This one came from eBay and was a little bit more expensive for shipping because I got it imported, and shout out to my bro Shaw for making this possible, bro. You know I appreciate you. But with that price of this figure, $100+, veteran Williams was a similar price, and I feel like he came with so much more. Some of that is bias, some of it is preference, but what is not bias or preference is the fact that veteran Williams had a fully closed off stripped down version where this Tiger does not. That's my biggest gripe with this figure. Not only is from the waist down limited in articulation because of the sculpting decisions, I wish from the waist down we had an interchangeable option where the figure could just be bare. Veteran Williams really set the bar with this line, so it sucks if they're not going to continue moving forward allowing us to have just the bare animal figures as well, because veteran Williams I'm sure will wind up on a lot of people's top 10 figure list of the year because of the interchangeability and the options that it gave us. And it sucks that we don't have that many options here with this guy. That being said, it is still an amazing figure. He is awesome. My biggest gripe, he didn't come with a screaming head, and he doesn't come with those bare legs. This way we can completely have the clothes off of him in just straight beast mode. I would have liked that a lot. But it is what it is, man. And there's companies, Figure Arts, Mezco, Mayfex, a ton of companies that charge this price plus more for a figure way smaller, way less plastic, way less original sculpted detail. So I've paid more for less in other cases, in other places at times. So I am extremely happy with what I'm getting here at that specific price point. Maestro Union is killing it with this line, and even despite my preferences, and I just think these animals are such unique pieces to be in any collection and on any shelf. I love them. I cannot wait to get more. I'm all in on this line. I will continue to pay these prices for these figures because they're so unique. They come with so much, and the sculpting and everything that you get in total is just so damn good compared to what we're getting from other companies nowadays. I'm cool with this. Like, I like this figure a lot. It is sold out right now. I'm sure Big Bad will have it back up for pre-order, so just keep checking. They did the same thing with veteran Williams. He was sold out, then he's back on pre-order, then he's sold out again, so I'm sure they keep ordering more quantities. But guys, nonetheless, this has been the Blade Master Weng from Maestro Union. I love this figure. My overall judgment is definitely get it if you can, and because I'm sure the runs on these figures are much more limited than a lot of other figures and a lot of other licenses, IPs, and lines, I think these prices are going to skyrocket. Not just because of reviews like this, but just because I don't see their quantities being that large in general. So I think in the future, the prices on these guys are going to be ridiculous because I really don't see them going back and reissuing anything. So it's been Articulated Ninja, guys. Follow me on Instagram. Get this guy if you can. I wish he was cheaper, but I do understand why he is not. Like I always say, guys, life is short. Try to appreciate it more than you complain about it. Peace.